welcome everyone to our webinar about the newest updates in Conference Tracker. For those of you who probably don't know me, I'm Rachel. I'm a client success manager. I work mostly on the academic side of things, but I'm going to be acting as your MC today. And I also have with me our presenters, our Chad Blodgett, our business development manager, and our software support representative, Garrett Effers. So without further ado, I am going to be handing things over to Chad, who is going to start our presentation.
Hi everyone, this is Chad, Business Development Manager here at Engineerica Systems. Super excited today to go over what's new in Conference Tracker, what we've actually been working on. And please stick around because we're also going to be at the end going to be talking about an upcoming update and kind of what's going to be coming up for Conference Tracker in the near future. Now, probably my favorite newest update to Conference Tracker is going to be our post-expiration mode. Now you're going to have constant access to your event and your data even after your conference account has expired. So it's it's happened a lot where my clients will call me or email me and say, hey, I need to have access to my account to export my data or to send out a certificate or a CE report because one of my attendees said they didn't receive them. So now you're actually going to have access to your event dashboard still, your attendee session attendance. You'll still be able to print and email certificates even after the account has been expired. You'll also have access to the registration analytics, all of your attendance analytics, so you can see what your most popular sessions were, most popular rooms were, your leads analytics, so which exhibitors or exhibiting companies captured the most or the least amount of leads and how many. And even your session evaluation analytics, you'll still have access to. Also, all data that you are able to export when your account wasn't expired, you'll still be able to export all that into a CSV, HTML, or Excel. So I'm actually going to go in and I'm going to show you an example of the post-expiration mode. So as you can see, this account, it actually tells you it's expired and it tells you when it was expired. So as an organizer, you can see I still have access to my dashboard. So I can see things like how many attendee registrations did I have, how many exhibitor registrations, how many conference check-ins, attendance swipes were taken. So all of your statistics, all your information is actually still populated right on your own dashboard. Now you're also going to have access to the networking options. So I can still go and view attendees from here. So I can click on attendees and I can go to their profiles, see their social wall, files that they uploaded, messages. So I'm actually still have access to my attendees, the messaging, the appointments. I'm able to create a post as well. So just know, even after the conference is over, you can create a post on the social wall and your attendees can actually still engage with each other through the attendee app using the social wall as well. So you can keep those conversations going even after your conference is over and your account has expired. You also are still going to have access to the gallery. The gallery is where, if attendees posted pictures or attached documents into the social wall, you're still going to be able to download the gallery and see those pictures again, even when your account has expired. Now, it's very common for my clients to give me a call or shoot me an email and say, hey, I haven't sent my certificates out yet. Or this particular attendee said they never received their certificate. I need access back into my account. So you actually are now still going to be able to print certificates, email certificates, and the same goes for your CEU reports. So you'll still be able to click an email and email out your CE report to all attendees or even to a specific attendee. All of your analytic options also are still here as well. Maybe you want to go back to your previous event to see, well, what were our most popular sessions, or how many attendees did we have registered and which options did they choose? So we'll click on the attendee registration. I'm still able to see, of our registrations, which was only 22, I can see how many said they were coming to the welcome reception, how many said no. This information may be helpful for you when setting up your next event. Same thing for the exhibit registration and your attendance analytics as well. So I'm able to see things like check-ins per date still, your visits per date, your attendance by breakout room, and more importantly, how your attendance per session. So how many attendees were going to each of your sessions. I could even click on these here and still see exactly which attendees went to the session and how long were the attendees in the session. If I scroll down, I still have the visits by time of day, and I can still see of the companies using the lead retrieval system, how many leads did each company capture at our event. And this is a great marketing tool if you're trying to market to new exhibiting companies to get some type of average on how many leads your exhibitors are actually capturing at your event. You can use these numbers to help. All your social activity leads and even the session evaluations are also going to be here as well. So I can look at all of our sessions and how attendees rated the content of those sessions. So I'm able to go back and still see those analytics. Now the last one is here in advanced options. All of the your exports are still going to be there, and you're still going to be able to export all of your data in a CSV, HTML, and Excel format. So again, this is another one where my clients will give me a call or shoot me an email and say, hey, I forgot to export our attendance logs out, and no longer will you have to do that. You're going to have access to your accounts using this post-expiration mode. Now I'm going to go back to our PowerPoint here really quick. And I'm going to hand it over to Garrett, who's one of our software support representatives.
Hey everybody, this is Garrett. I know I've worked with a lot of you personally in setting up your events, and we've got some exciting updates that have come out. Starting off first, we've got some new import fields that we've come out with for the companies and for the leads for exhibitors. So now, I do hear a lot in our support calls and our setup calls, well, we know the companies that are coming, but we're not sure what reps they're sending. Well, now with this information, you can import these companies ahead of time, get their description, put in their sponsor level, and set the max amount of representatives they can have, licenses they can have, push ads, and posts. Along with this, as you can see highlighted there on the bottom right image, we have the new leads enabled header for the exhibitor admin and exhibitor rep import. This is going to allow you to, as a yes or no field, assign which rep gets a license and which rep doesn't, so that there's no more manual going through and assigning licenses. Along with this, we've given the ability for the leads licenses to be purchased directly through the rep web portal. By clicking your name circle in the top right-hand corner of the web portal and going to manage license, as an admin, you can now pre-purchase your leads licenses, and you can also have the exhibitor admins and reps come in and purchase their own leads licenses as well. Along with these leads additions, we've put some more analytics totals on the dashboard so that you can now track your total amount of leads licenses for the event, the amount that you have assigned, so you can see how many you have left, as well as track the amount of people, exhibitors that do log into the Leads app, just like you could with the attendee app above. And with that, I'll pass it back off to Chad.
Yeah, I kind of want to just go over some previously added enhancements just in case you missed them. Some of you may know we actually added a virtual exhibit hall, and whether you had a virtual event, a hybrid event, or an in-person event, I actually really like this feature for your exhibitors and your sponsors. Maybe obviously the attendees that are going to be at home will now have access to the exhibitor and sponsor information from the app or from a web portal. But also your in-person attendees, maybe they didn't get a chance to go see every exhibitor in the exhibit hall, or maybe someone was missing and they want to go and look at the information again through the attendee app or attendee web portal. This enables your attendees to access company and product descriptions through the attendee app and the attendee web portal, as well as viewing promotional videos and attachments, scheduling appointments with the exhibitors. And one of my favorites is requesting information. As an attendee, if I want more information from one of the exhibitors or sponsors, there's a request info button there. Essentially, that becomes a lead for the exhibitor or sponsor. So even after the event is over, or after hours, and we can't have any contact with attendees because the exhibit hall is not open, attendees can still say, hey, I'd like more information. I'm going to get their contact info as the exhibitor sponsor, and now I'm able to reach out, and I'm getting additional leads even though I'm not in the exhibit hall. Now, attendees can also view representatives and their contact information as well, in case they want to contact them outside of the request information. If an exhibitor sponsor has a special offer like, hey, come to our booth to win an iPad, or click here to win this, attendees will be able to take advantage of those special offers, again, right through the app or through the web portal, as well as a prize wheel. Your exhibitors and sponsors can actually have various prizes and a digital prize wheel, and attendees will be able to spin the prize wheel and actually win a prize or whatever you have put up on the prize wheel. Another previously added enhancement was our exhibitor ad options. Now these ad options, again, a great tool for your exhibitors and sponsors. You can actually add these ad options to your sponsorships to enhance your offerings to sponsors or exhibitors, or you can even have them as additional costs and charge additional fee for any of these various ads. Now these ad options doesn't really cost you anything. So again, add it as added value to your sponsorships, or have your exhibitors actually purchase these additional features. Those exhibitor ad options are available both in the attendee app and the attendee web portal, which include a banner ad, a pop-up ad, exhibit hall ad, so where attendees would go through the app or the portal and see the various exhibitors in the virtual exhibit hall. There's going to be an ad space there. If you had a virtual session, you can actually do a pre-session video ad as well. So before the session starts, an ad will actually play before your recorded or live session. As well as you can make social wall posts for your exhibitors or sponsors to highlight any individual. You can actually, once you make that post, you can even pin that post at the top. So every time an attendee goes to the social wall, it'll be right at the top. Also, when attendees are completing surveys, there is a space there for a survey ad as well. Now we're pretty excited. We're constantly enhancing Conference Tracker. So in an update coming very, very soon, here are some things that we're going to be adding. So just like how attendees can receive push notifications right now, we're going to be enabling push notifications for Leads app users. So if you need to get a message out to your exhibitors that are using the lead retrieval app, you're now going to be able to, or soon, are going to be able to create a push notification that's going to be able to be pushed to their phones. Now, we've always had a way for exhibitors to create custom qualifying questions if they're using our lead retrieval app. But if you're an organizer and you want to go ahead and create custom qualifying questions for all of your exhibitors, in the past you would have to go to each individual company and set those up individually. But now we're going to create a way that you can actually bulk set up the qualifying questions for all exhibiting companies, but still give them the ability to go in and customize it and make their own as well. We're also going to be adding some improvements to the accessibility functions in our apps as well. Now, something that's been an issue for some of our clients as of recently, and that we're going to be changing here soon, is the ability to generate invoices for any type of payment method. So if you're using our registration package and you're doing the registration through Conference Tracker, the attendee, no matter if they pick a check option, if they pick a invoice option, if they pick a credit card option to actually pay for the registration fees, you'll now be able to generate an invoice for all payment options not just those who chose that they wanted an invoice. Be on the lookout because we're going to be adding some additional design options for badges, certificates, and the CEU reports, as well as some additional exports to export out things like surveys, a new invoice export, and a new company export as well. I'm going to hand it over to Rachel for any type of questions.
Yeah, we've had a few questions come in, and I know that Nick has been kind of covering them in text, but I think for those people who are watching the recording, it would be good to also answer them live. So the first question is, can there be more than one administrator?
I can go ahead and answer that. So administrator for the conference tracker account itself, of course, so you actually are not limited to how many administrators you can have in your conference tracker account. So yes, we're just talking about just a administrator for the account itself. You're not limited to how many you can have.
Okay, and the next question is, will this, and I think they might have been referring to whatever whatever feature was being shown at the time, but I think we could consider this a blanket question for all the features. Will this be available on conferences which have already closed?
It will be actually. So if you had a previous conference with us and you want to go ahead and access those accounts in the post-expiration mode, you'll be able to. So just go to comptrack.com, put in your credentials, and you'll be able to switch from account to account and have access to all of your previous data.
Okay, awesome. The next question, how can we set up the system to allow us to create reports that will break down the types of attendees we have? For example, our conference attracts alums, current students, alums from other colleges, etc. How can I create a way in the system so I can pull a report that tells us how many of each attended? And Nick had answered this question
Do you want me
pretty
to?
thoroughly. Yeah, if you want to repeat it out loud, go ahead.
Okay, so yeah, I was basically kind of thinking about it, and I think there's actually two features that you use in Conference Tracker, and one of those would be that the attendees can have custom fields on them. So, you know, I would upload those as a custom field so that you would be able to see, like if I looked up that attendee, they belong to this group. But we also have something in the system called user groups. So you can actually kind of group your attendees into these different classifications, like whatever group they belong to. And then with those groups, you can actually use that as criteria to pull from your exports or reports that you're getting from the system. So.
Okay, awesome. And another question, when are those next round of updates due to come out?
Don't have an exact date on when they're going to be out. Just to kind of give you an idea, though, most of the development has been done. Most of it's in a testing environment right now. So as soon as testing is done, hope that it goes well. It will be out shortly, but we'll probably be sending an email to let you know when those next updates are actually out, or we'll be doing another webinar. I'm not sure, but we'll definitely let everybody know when they're done.
Okay, awesome. And any plans for the social wall to be sorted or filtered?
Garrett or Nick, somebody.
Currently, you can sort by who made the post on the exhibitor level. And you can see which company made what post. On the attendee level, it's kind of public, but like Chad showed you in the network section, when you go to the actual people accounts, you can see their social wall from that view.
Okay. And next question, will all features be accessible to event sponsors and exhibitors, not just organizers?
Would this be the post-expiration mode, do we know?
They said all features.
All features.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very broad question. I'm not sure if if you want to try to specify the question, or you can always email comptrack@engineerica.com. Now there is something I can talk about while maybe we're waiting for that response. Although organizers have access to the post expiration mode, and what I showed here, your attendees also have access to the post expiration mode as well. And that's to do a few things. Again, the social wall is still going to be available to them. So, you know, usually after 30 days after your event, your account will expire, and attendees no longer have access to the social wall or anything else they could have done in Conference Tracker. But now they'll be able to continue those conversations that they were having even after the expiration. They also have the ability to download their own certificate or CEU report if you enabled them to do so. So there's a couple things that attendees will still be able to do in the post-expiration mode as well.
Yeah, they specified in the post-expiration mode.
So yes, exhibitors also will have access to leads, so their lead information as well. So not obviously not everything will be available to everyone, but kind of the features that I went over, depending on your role, you'll have access to those if you had access to those when it wasn't expired. So exhibitors will still have access to their lead information. Attendees still have access to the social wall, and their certificates, and then the admins, kind of what I showed in the demo.
All right, and this isn't a question, but I do want to point out we had somebody say they're looking forward to the monthly meetings, and I know we had a couple people join us a little late, so I do want to remind everybody that we are going to be organizing monthly conference tracker meetings for conference tracker clients to come and learn about some tips and tricks. We've been doing something similar for academia, one of our academic-based products, and those have been really, really successful and really popular, so we're excited to be offering that for Conference Tracker as well. And we will be making an announcement soon about when those are going to take place. I don't see any other questions in the list. So I think if Chad or Garrett, unless you have anything else to add, we are good to close up for the day.
The only thing I'd like to add is if any of our Conference Tracker users would be interested in, we call it a user spotlight in some of our other products. If you'd be interested in talking about how you use Conference Tracker at your event, really to start engagement between Conference Tracker users and other clients as well. We'd love to have like a quick webinar so that you can kind of tell everyone else how you use Conference Tracker and kind of start a dialogue. So if you're interested in doing that, you can always email me, Chad, if you have my email, or you can email comptrack@engineerica.com. We'd love to, to do a webinar with you.
Okay, awesome. And I also want to remind everybody that when you leave the session or when we close out the session, you are going to be redirected to a survey, and that survey is going to ask you some questions about today's presentation. It's also going to ask you what you might like to see in a future update. So please take a couple minutes to fill that out. It would really, really be helpful for us. But I want to thank everybody for joining us today. And as a reminder, if you want to re-watch any of this, or if you have any colleagues who weren't able to make it, we are going to be sending out the recording of this soon. So thank you everyone for joining us, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.